What's up? What's up? What's up? This Big C, the Chameleonaire at Capital Boxing. Thanks for joining in, where you won't get it nowhere realer than this. So let's get right into it. Man, we got new heights for either Danny Swift Garcia or Earl the Truth Spence Jr. Man, it's going to be new heights for these guys going into 2021. We're going to get into that and everything else there, but let's get right into it. Breaking news from the press conference. Angel Garcia came out and said, Angel Garcia, if you don't know, is Danny Garcia's trainer and father, came out with breaking news. We got to get right into it. Says that when they went to the press conference and seen Earl Spence Jr. for the first time, they said they seen something Philly style, that he's not the same guy, and that they're going to be able to get him out of there Philly style by the seventh round. You ain't hearing it from, I'm just telling you what the streets and barbershops told me. Okay? So anyway, they said that Angel said, man, listen, man, we're going to get him out of there by the seventh round. He's not the same fighter. If you don't know, Danny Garcia did come back and said that man, that he trained Danny basically said he trained harder for this fight than he ever did in his life. Now, if you don't know Danny Garcia, let's see, 36-2, never lost, had two controversial losses that could have went either way, multiple world champions. So Danny said, man, Philly style Hall of Famer said he's basically trained for this harder than this fight than he's ever did in his life. So, wow, breaking news. And we know, we're not new to this, we true to this. So we know Angel Garcia can run his mouth a little bit, and Danny Garcia got us all the way back it up. You know, I don't kind of like that type of father son thing. You know, I think it puts a little more pressure than he needs. But anyway, Danny says he's ready. Man, Angel says he's predicting a seventh round knockout of Earl the Truth Spence Jr. He's not the same fighter. Breaking news. In return, Earl came back and said, he went to the hospital in February this year. They said he had no blood on the brain. And if you didn't know Earl Spence Jr., man, which I believe is the real storyline of this fight, Earl Spence Jr., the King Cow, can he come back from that horrific accident? Man, if you seen that accident, man, I just want to take a time out to thank, and we want to pray for Earl Spence and his family. He just had a baby boy, man. Thank you so much, man, for the boxing gods and everybody have you still around, man. We did not want to lose you. You, man, everyone's heart, man. So we love both families, but we wanted to spend that special shout out to Earl Spence. But anyway, can he come back after that accident? Get back in the ring. They asked Earl, they said, now you could have took a tune-up fight, Earl. Why would you come back against Danny Swift Garcia? He said, he just want to show everyone he's the same fighter, and he wants to just prove himself all over again. And Earl Spence, as we know, he's been proving himself his whole career. So, wow, guys, we're going to get a great fight. We're going to see the fight of, man, this is the great fight. Like boxing fans or fans, to quote the great Roger Wayweather that does know shit about boxing, we love this fight. We love this fight for all different reasons, because we don't get these fights all the time. The promoter can't make them. We know blah, blah, say blah. And we'll do videos on them and up and coming videos. So again, if you like what you're seeing, subscribe to the icon below and everything else there. But anyway, man, it's going to be a great fight. And also to get into it, we're going to get into a portion of the show that I consider to call predictions, where I stick my foot in my mouth, and we're going to see on the post-fight show that I do next week how good that I did. So let's break these fighters down. Ding, ding. Here we have Danny Garcia, who coming in this fight. The consensus is on Danny is that he does everything well. He has a good jab. He's a good counter puncher. He does everything well. He can time you. He does everything well, but they say he doesn't do anything great. I say he has an exceptional left hook, but that's what the streets, that's what everybody, the barbershop saying. This ain't for me. This one, everybody know this. This ain't no new news or anything. So Danny does everything well. I believe it'll be a 51-49 type of fight as far as percentages of win. I think Danny Garcia, his activity, we know he does everything well, but can he put out the activity input to beat someone like Earl Spence Jr.? So that's That's the consensus on Danny. But two-time world champion, crush Paulie, Judah, you know, Matisse, I mean, crush Morales, you know, Danny. We all know Danny, great fighter. Then we get over to Earl the Truth Spence Jr. Wow, what can I say about this guy? In a nutshell, that he's been proving himself his whole career. He proved himself when he went over there and he was a risk reward fighter. Who doesn't know? Meaning that at one point in time, it was a too high of a risk to fight him, so he couldn't get the belt for a long time. He had to go outside of America to go fight Kell Brooks and prove himself under the pond. That's how he got the belt. Then he out Sean Porter, and then he outboxed at the consensus that he couldn't think. So he out thought Mikey Garcia. He's been proving himself with Jim Wars, with Mayweather. The story goes on. He's great. So at the point of that, I think at the end of the day that Earl Spence Jr. may have a little more in his pail to defeat a Danny Garcia in a 7-5 round type fight. I believe it's going to be closer than people think. I think Danny will be right there. A hell of a fight. I can't see neither one of these guys get knocked out. Did you see that punch that Keith Thurman caught Danny with? And he kept on coming like a Terminator. Maybe they are going to purge. I don't know. This guy keeps coming. He keeps coming. So I don't know. So I can't see Earl knocking him out. And I definitely can't see Danny knocking the Truth out. So I think it's like a 12 fight, a 12-5 type of fight far as the win. And I think Earl Spence Jr. will get the win in the end. And it's going to be a hell of a fight. So thank you guys again for making this fight. The boxing gods. You know, so again, we love that and everything else there. If you like the content on this video, please subscribe. Hit the bell icon at below. If you also want to help the channel grow, you can go to $Capital Boxing, capital with an OL at the end of it. Capital Boxing to help the channel grow. Thanks again. We'll do I'm gonna send out another video next week about reaction from the fight and everything else there. Thanks again. Each one teach one, guys. See you guys again.